Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today we're going to create 3 Christmas themed cards with October 2024 Spellbinders Club Kits of the month. We're mostly going to focus on the large and small, but we're going to throw in a little Betterpress of the month and Embossing Folder of the month, plus the bonus item if you get the deluxe caboodle. To begin, I had to use all of the cozy toe slippers from the large die of the month that I possibly could. And so I took some pattern paper, and this is a Spellbinders pattern paper I will link to down below, and a 5x7 card base because I want to have 2 cute little pairs of legs with cozy toe slippers on this card. I've trimmed down a little of the pattern paper to place on my 5x7 base, and I used the embossing folder of the month for October 2024 called Checkered Argyle, and ran it through using Portobello cardstock from Spellbinders, and we're going to place that on the bottom. So the green check is like the wallpaper, and then this Argyle pattern is the carpet or rug on the floor. Now we definitely need to have a division between the wall and the floor for our card. So I'm going to grab my Spellbinders trimmer and some white cardstock, and using the scoring blade, I'm going to score just a little bit, below the edge of the cardstock, and then I'm going to trim that into a strip. I want this to look like the baseboard on my card, and I'm going to just trim that, and then we can place it right onto our card base. So I'm just going to trim a narrow strip, maybe a 1/2 inch or so, and then we're just going to pop that right onto our card base. Look at how well that divides the 2 parts of our scene. It's very simple, but very effective. So first, for this first card, as I mentioned, I want 2 pairs of legs. And I am going to use some more of the pattern paper from this pattern paper collection called Oh Joyful Day from Rosie's Studio for the pajama pant legs for our 2 cute little cozy toed slipper individuals. So I'm going to use the kind of aqua color paper with the little holly berries and leaves and the pink, red, and green plaid. For our cozy toes, we are going to build the reindeer and Santa slippers for this card. And oh my gosh, all of the critters you can build here are so cute. Starting with the reindeer, you can see I flipped it over and I'm placing the layering pieces back behind the opening of the ears and the eyes. And then we're going to start building the slippers. This is such a unique and fun set, and I love that the faces can be used with or without the slippers. It is a nice big size die set. It is the large die of the month, and I just love it. I think it is cute, unique, and so clever. All of the cardstock colors that I am using, plus the paper, will be listed down below. These are the current club kits, and you can join the club and receive these kits through the 27th of the month. If you are not a club kit member, you can wait till the next month on the 10th and see if some of the individual clubs are available. That's always a great time to pick up any clubs that you see that you would like to have, but maybe you are not a club kit member. Now, I personally really love the club kits. As I mentioned, I like the deluxe caboodle. I like to get it all, and I will have additional projects on the 10th or shortly thereafter of next month featuring some of the other products from this release. I love these, and I love getting the clubs every month. I feel like they just get better and better all the time. I've added the antlers. I've also layered the nose pieces, and that makes Rudolph's face come to life. Now, he doesn't have to be Rudolph. You could always do a brown nose for a more generic type of reindeer. You can see what the dies look like here, lots of texture. I'm building the leg piece and the slipper, so it looks like the leg is inside of the slipper. That's the little back of the slipper that I'm placing on right there. And once we have these, we are going to glue our pajama pants to the legs, or to the ankle, I guess I should say. Look at that. Aren't the pattern papers so cute? You can see it starting to come to life. Now, because the legs are nice and long, this is going to provide a fantastic place for us to build or layer our sentiments onto this card design. I could even see making some really fun gift tags. If you do like my family does at the holidays, I get new pajamas for my kids every year. Yes, even now that they're adults, some sort of pajama pants or something. And I could see putting tags with these on all of those. And I think that would be so clever and fun. We're going to build our Santa slippers next. I, of course, started with a red base. We're going to tuck the ankles into the slippers. I've already placed the soles on the slippers. And then we're going to start building Santa's face. I'll put the back on these slippers first. A pair of reverse tweezers do come in super handy when you are building all of these little parts and pieces for die cutting. Die cutting is my love language. You guys know this. I am a huge die cut fan, so I love all of these little parts and pieces. Again, I've layered the background piece on the back of the face so that the eyes have some texture. I am going to replace the eyes with some pearls here in a little bit. So I did it this way. It does create a nice base for it, but you don't have to add pearls. That was one of the things I wanted to mention with this. But as I was looking for finishing touches to add to my card, I ultimately decided I love a little black pearl there. We are going to add our nose. I did give Santa a nice bright red nose. I think that's kind of cute and fun. And we're going to add the beard on. Make sure no glue is in the mouth area. Now, something I want to mention about my reindeer and Santa. Normally, I love adding some shading to my critters and to people. But when I originally adhered everything to my card, I liked it. It's very cute. But as I looked at this more and more, there was something about it that I felt it was missing. And I felt like they needed some pink on their cheeks. I wasn't going to go full on with shading or anything like that, but I definitely needed to add some sort of shading to my images to give them a little bit more life. So for Santa, because I don't want to get ink on the beard and I've already adhered it, I will use a marker, a very light pink marker, to draw in some pink cheeks. And then for Rudolph, because I don't have that same concern there, I will use a small round blending brush to add some pink to Rudolph's cheeks. And that small detail really added so much character to both of these. Now, for my sentiments for my card today, we are going to use the Warm Cozy Wishes from this die collection, the large die of the month, but it is a die cut that you can cut and layer with the banner piece. However, I love to foil this particular sentiment from Spellbinders instead of die cutting it. When you die cut it, it does tend to be very, I don't want to say hard to read, but I don't like it as much die cut. It's very thin, but when you glimmer it, I think the result is amazing. So we are going to glimmer the greeting onto some Schoolhouse red cardstock from Simon Says Stamp here. And we're going to use some of this gold foil. I'll put the exact name down below. It might be Prism. I can't remember exactly. And then we're going to take the bonus item. If you get the deluxe caboodle from Spellbinders, you are getting a a bonus item every month. And this month it is a fantastic greeting Betterpress set and coordinating dies. You guys, it is so worth it. So I am going to Betterpress the phrase "sending you fuzzy feelings and festive cheer," and I'm using some of the Betterpress archival ink here. I think this is the color Pine, and we're going to Betterpress this onto some of the cotton card panel, die cut it with the coordinating die, and we're going to do layered greetings on our card. So we're going to have a glimmered sentiment banner, and we're going to have a Betterpress sentiment phrase that's also die cut. Both of them are on the smaller scale, meaning they give a good impact because we're doubling them up and layering them, but they are not so large that they cover up the scene that we have built with these cute cozy toe images. Oh, I love this so much. I did end up foiling it pressing it a couple of times to get the result that I wanted. And then look at the coordinating die, and we're just going to run that through. Plus, we're going to run our glimmer through and then use the coordinating die to die cut that phrase as well. Super easy, super fun, and everything you need to create amazing results is right here. Look at that, how it foiled. Yes, it's a cutting die. I do want to make clear that that was a cutting die, but it foiled, and it foils amazing. So if you have any other sets with this sentiment or with this font, pardon me, I highly recommend trying to foil it and see what you think. I have done it before and I love it. So we're just going to run this through with the banner now, and we're going to pop both of these up onto our card with foam adhesive. So let's glue down our legs, and then there's how it's going to look with our layered greetings. I like to use these thin sentiment strip foam adhesive strips to adhere my sentiments. But before we do that, let's go ahead and trim off the excess pattern paper that is hanging off the top of our 5x7 card. I did have a little bit excess here, so we're just going to trim that up. We'll place our sentiments in place. I'm going to use a T-square ruler because I want these to be as even as possible. So cute, so fun. And we're going to use it again. Just make sure, yes, that looks fantastic. And then we will pop up our other greeting as well. Our final detail for our card today is going to be those black pearls that I'm placing on the eyes for both sets of slippers, plus some little mini white pom-poms for the Santa hats. I know I used the white cardstock, but I couldn't resist replacing that with a little white pom-pom right on top. The white cardstock underneath just reinforces anywhere that the pom-pom may not cover up. Finally, we will take this panel and glue it to a white 5x7 card base to finish this up. Now, in addition to Rudolph, Santa, there are other images you can create as well, including a penguin and a bunny. I decided to do a standard A2 size card for my second Cozy Toe slipper card for today's video and just do the penguins. We're also going to incorporate the Joyful Candy Canes 3D embossing folder of the month and do a little blackout technique. I love a good blackout technique, and it gives a very dramatic, beautiful finished look. We're going to start with some Schoolhouse Red cardstock that is trimmed to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I've run it through my Spellbinders Platinum. I'm flipping it over to the debossed side, and we are going to be a very generous inking with our black archival ink, and that is going to make the beautiful poinsettia and joyful candy cane of this image really pop. This is going to give a much darker, deeper, dramatic flair to the finished design. Once we have this inking done, I am going to splatter the background of this panel with Spellbinders white splatter all over to give it kind of a snowy effect, and set this aside to completely dry while I work on assembling my die cuts and also glimmering my greeting for this card. So with Spellbinders, if you have Betterpress plates, you can glimmer with them. That is one of the greatest perks of Betterpress plates, I think, is the fact that you can glimmer them. Now, the vice versa does not work, but Betterpress plates can be Betterpress or glimmered. So I am going to take one of the bonus items and we are going to glimmer the greeting, delivering furry wishes and penguin kisses, because we have to use that for our adorable penguin card, right? And we are going to layer that on a piece of black cardstock and do our glimmering on black. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos featuring Spellbinders, you know that I think Spellbinders glimmer plates, also in this case Betterpress plates, foil beautifully on any color of cardstock, not just Hammermill Smooth White. I feel like they just give amazing results, and I've had good luck with almost everything I've ever tried. So that's what we're doing today. And of course, while my glimmer is heating up, I am assembling our adorable slippers. We've got some more pajama pants using that same collection of pattern paper from the first card, but this time I did a red like sweater knit pattern paper. We're building the black slippers with white soles and then the cute little penguin hats. And again, this card definitely needs pom-poms, right? To finish off the hat. I absolutely think so. So we're going to build the little penguins up and pop them on the front. Again, all of the cardstock colors and pattern paper that I'm using will be listed and linked down in the description below the video here on YouTube, as well as over on my blog. As I mentioned with the first card, I actually haven't put the pink on the cheeks yet. It was in the creation of this card that I discovered I really felt like I needed to add some character to all of the critters. So I will be adding some pink cheeks to the penguin, and we will be adding the pink to Rudolph and Santa at that point as well. There's lots of different components in this set. If you don't want to make slippers, you can use the faces on their own and they will be amazing. Consider adding them to little gift tags. You could place an assortment of these on a card. There's just so many ways to use these. If you are a sucker for cute critters like I am, you are going to love this set. There is my foiled greeting. Perfect every single time. Gotta love that. So what we're going to do is I am going to trim down my background, trim down this black strip, and we are going to place these on a white A2 size top fold card base. I'm also going to take a dry paintbrush and just remove a bit of the overfoil. It wasn't a lot, but I did need to remove just a tiny bit. So I have my strip that I'm going to glue to my card base, the little black sentiment strip. That's going to go along the bottom edge of my card. Then we're going to pop up our Blackout Technique embossing folder with that joyful candy canes right over the top of that. So that part is raised up, our sentiment is flat to the design. This background on its own is stunning, you guys. Maybe one of my favorite blackout techniques yet. I can't get enough. I love, love, love it. Trying to get that lined up. Apparently that was a lot harder than I thought. Then we're going to place the legs on our card and we're going to place our slippers on the card. I am going to pop up the faces on the slippers for this design. I didn't do that on the first one, but that's another way to give your slippers a little bit more texture and depth and dimension. So adorable. For this card, we also are going to, again, add those pom-poms as I mentioned to the penguin stocking caps. And we're going to take glossy accents to the penguin beaks. Once we have our slippers put together, we're going to go ahead and take that pink blending brush, and that's where I'm adding the cheeks. I don't even think I added new ink to my blending brush to do this. And I love the way the pink cheeks make the penguin's face come to life. We want to cut off any excess of the legs off the top of our card as well. Make that nice and clean. And finish up with any of our final little techniques there. So again, here I'm just adding the pink to the cheeks of Rudolph, and we'll take a marker to Santa. Let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite critter from the large die of the month? They are all so cute and so adorable. Next up, we are going to focus on the small die of the month with the Betterpress of the month with the Design a Plaid. We're going to start with the Design a Plaid. You can see I've put a little piece of tape rolled up, and I am placing my cotton card panel right within the grid on my Betterpress. And for that, it's because I want to build my plaid, and I want to be able to rotate the top part that's holding my paper so that I can do the same design on both sides. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to do red and green, and this Design a Plaid, comes with the Plaid Builder and some Betterpress sentiments that we're actually going to foil instead of Betterpress. So we're going to do the plaid first for the background of our card. We've added our ink. Then we're going to roll the Betterpress platform through our Spellbinders Platinum. Then I am going to make sure that my cardstock stays put. And we're going to not move our plate, our press plate. We're going to ink it up again. This time I'm going to make sure my cardstock, the empty side, is over the Betterpress press plate. And my adhesive was terrible, so we're going to replace that. I'm going to roll it up. There we go. And we're going to roll this through again. That's going to give the same design on both sides. This is called Design a Plaid because it very much is Design a Plaid. Okay, we're going to clean this. And next, we are going to do the skinny stripes. I used the other plaid press plate as a guide, and for this one, we're going to do this in red right next to the green. And again, same thing. We're going to ink it up, we're going to roll it through, then we're going to flip the top around and Betterpress the second side. Can you start to see it take shape? It's looking good. So now I'm going to do this again. When I put it down, I want to make sure that the right area is going to be Betterpressed, and we're going to roll it through. We're going to clean our Betterpress press plate, and now we're going to take the shorter ones, and we're going to go the other direction. So we're going to place the thicker stripes. So each set, the long and short, have 2 thick and 2 skinny, it's a thick and a mid and then 2 skinnies. So we're going to place these where we want them to go. I'm trying to guess. I'm using the grid on my Betterpress platform as a guide because I want to do as much with one pass as possible. So for this, we're going to do a green stripe, and then we're going to do a red stripe for the larger. And we are going to flip it just like we did before. So we're going to start with it this direction, roll it through, flip it around, and Betterpress the other direction. The plaid is starting to come to life here. It's looking amazing. You can do this in any color combination that you like. You can do any pattern you like. There are so many ways to use this set. So we want to make sure that the green is at the bottom now and the red is at the top. Oh, the plaid is looking great. So the last thing I want to do is take the skinny green, and I'm actually going to just do this one more time instead of 2. That's just to fill in that open area a little bit. You can see I left my one press plate in place while I was positioning this, so I made sure it was in the right area. And we're going to do one double set of green stripes. I decided to do it closer to one set instead of in between the two, but you can definitely do whatever you like there. Okay, once we have our background, it is time to focus on the festive friends. I mean, look at this plaid. It is so stunning. The Betterpress, it's so hard to translate on camera, but the fact that it has that impressed design is just beautiful. So you can see I have all the Festive Friends components ready. I'm also taking the Design Plaid sentiments. Remember, these are Betterpress press plates, but I am going to press them onto some green cardstock or glimmer them, pardon me, onto some green cardstock with some gold foil. And it die cuts a bunch of sentiments all at once. So again, you should have some extras to use on more cards later on. I'm going to choose Making Spirits Bright from this. We're simply going to line up the banner dies with this, die cut it, and then assemble our festive friends. This set features an adorable bear and penguin, and the bear has lights strung around him and a star up at the top, so he looks kind of like a tree. You can use the bear by itself, the penguin by itself, or the lights any way that you want. I decided to use that same sweater plaid from our Penguin Cozy Toes Slippers card as the sweater or the base of the sweater for our polar bear. So here are all of the components. There are some layering pieces for back behind the eyes. We are going to use those this time instead of pearls. His eyes are slightly oval shaped, and I like that they're nice and small, so I didn't want to replace those with pearls for this card. Then we're going to layer over the nose, the pink cheeks. I did do a very nice light pink back behind the ears. A little bit brighter pink for the cheeks, which we will be embellishing here in a little bit, and the little black nose. Then we're going to glue the sweater around his neck. Oh my gosh, he is just the cutest little polar bear. Okay, so now we're going to take the string of lights. I did die cut 2 of the longer strings of lights and 1 of the shorter, and I used red and white glitter cardstock to die cut the light bulbs. So we're doing a red and white style design. I felt that that matched the feel and look of the Design a Plaid that we did for the background of the card, and the glitter adds to the sparkly look and feel of this card design. We will be placing glossy accents over the lights. I love to add glossy accents over glitter cardstock for things like this because I feel like it gives it a sparkly dimension, which I love. We're going to wrap the strings of lights around our polar bear. So let's go ahead and assemble the rest of the lights. Once we have all of the lights, we do want to add the star at the top of the polar bear's head. I have that die cut from black cardstock and brushed gold. I love that it has a little circle part down at the bottom that makes it very easy to attach to the bear. We're going to finish wrapping the lights around our polar bear tree, and then we can assemble the penguin. Now, I've also used some pattern paper from that same pattern paper set that I've been using all video long for our penguin. And I used the green plaid from that first card. The great thing is I had some scraps of paper left over, and the pieces for this are so tiny that I was able to easily use those here. Now I did add some little pink to the cheeks of our penguin because, of course, they all need pink cheeks, right? We're also going to add his nose and his feet. I mean, this penguin's character, how adorable is he? Isn't he just the cutest? I love him. We're going to add his cute little feet. And his hat is the green plaid, but with a red brim and red pom-pom. Easy peasy, just like that, we have our adorable penguin all assembled. So next we are going to have him kind of hanging off the top of this like so. I'm going to glue him in place. We're going to put foam adhesive back behind all of the bear pieces, and then we're going to pop up the bear, penguin, and sentiment on our card base. Now before I assemble this or add this to my card, and as I was looking at it, I decided with the black of the strings of lights and the penguin, a little bit of black silk or onyx silk would be perfect for a finishing touch. So I am tapping that on to the background. This is my favorite black spatter product from Spellbinders, and it does dry really quickly, but I think it really brings out the rest of the design and gives just the right amount of distress. We're going to pop that in place just like so. And then, of course, take some thin foam adhesive strips to place on the back of our little foiled greeting. The final things I'm going to do is place this on a white top fold card base, put a little sparkle, I like to use the Hero Arts sparkle lacquer on the cheeks of the bear, so the bear's cheeks will be sparkly, and then we're using glossy accents on the penguin's beak, feet, and all of the Christmas lights. We will want to set this aside to completely dry for an hour or so, and when it is all dry, all of the lights will have a beautiful sparkly finish, and it will be so cute. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these 3 cards featuring Spellbinders October 2024 Club Kits. I've used the large and small club kits of the month, the Betterpress club kit of the month, the embossing folder and 3D embossing folder of the month, and Betterpress plus the monthly bonus item for the deluxe caboodle. All of the details can be found in the description below the video here on YouTube or over on my blog. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community.